Hi everyone, it's Don and I hope you're having a fantastic day. Well, we have MSC just took possession of their newest ship and announced their next newest ship. Finally gave it a name. Were you thinking on sailing around China, Hong Kong, those areas? Well, one cruise line's pulling all of their Asia market, and when one does, who knows, usually more to follow. First off, let me show you my shirt. A lot of people are annoyed that I never show the full shirt. I got this from a very lovely passenger on board. Made me a few different shirts, so I want to show that off. Okay, we have MSC Cruise Line just took possession of their largest cruise ship yet. Another LNG fueled ship, the World Europa. And, or if you were pronouncing it Europa, if some people would pronounce it. However, they also said they're naming their next ship at the same time now that they've taken possession of this one, and it's the World America. So I'm wondering where they're going to station these two ships. I think it'd be kind of cool if they stationed World Europa in North America and the World America in Europe, just to confuse the heck out of everybody else. Well, also, were you thinking on, one of my favorite cruises I've done since I started the channel was my trips to Japan and China. And so I was looking forward to perhaps going back in 2023. Well, one cruise line, one of the subsidiaries of Carnival, Costa Cruise Lines, has just announced that, yeah, they're canceling all of their Asia market cruises and they will be redeploying those ships to other areas and letting us know what those are. But that goes for China, Japan, Taiwan, South Korea. You get the idea. They're canceling them all, and a lot of this is because of China's current COVID restrictions and policies that are still in place. And with the new election once again in China, with the incumbent staying on, another hardliner, it does look like there's not going to be any changes to their policy, as China still has numerous lockdowns and restrictions and policies in place. The cruise lines are just saying, yeah, not right now. And so China's becoming more and more isolated from the rest of the world as far as travel and that is concerned, and the cruise lines are taking note. Now, when this happens, obviously other cruise lines are looking at the exact same thing, and when one cruise line starts to cancel and back out, you can pretty much rest assured that more will be following in the near future. So again, I was hoping to do another cruise in 2023. That's two countries in the world right now that are basically off limits. You can't get to Russia from here, and now China is interfering with a lot of the Asian markets as well. So time to head to either warmer climates or the Mediterranean or maybe the Antarctica this time around, the Galapagos Islands, something different. But it is a little disappointing for those people who are planning finally to get back into the Asian market. We also have a story here on board, and it's going to be a tale of two immigrations. But before I get there, let me just invite you guys to hit that subscribe button if you haven't done so already. If you want to keep up to date with all things cruising, from, hey, you can't go to China from here anymore, or brand new ships coming online like the Icon of the Seas, the Sun Princess, the World Europa, and now the World America as well. Just hit the subscribe button. I'll try my best to keep you up to date with all things cruising, and try and have a good time as we're doing it along the way. So, yeah, I have an immigration story. I also want to talk about Australia one more time. There are, again, more reports coming out from another ship, I think it's Royal Caribbean's Ovation of the Seas now, that has 130 cases of COVID on board. It's rumored that the Coral Princess had 100 cases on board. And again, some of the media are coming out and saying, everybody's stranded on the ship. Well, if you read another article right beside it, it'll say that the people are angry because they let 1,900 people off the ship. Same ship. So which is it? Are they locked in or are they let off? Because it was the same company reporting it. The same news articles, just different authors. It was hilarious. So yeah, they're trying to get a hold of what they're doing, and the media is not making it very easy, let's put it that way, out there, as I guess they're looking for something to talk about with the return of cruise ships, instead of just celebrating the return of cruise ships. Now, I am on the Holland America Rotterdam, and we stopped in Plymouth. And when you stop in Plymouth, you have to go through immigration. Every ship, any stop there in those area, in that country now, you have to go through immigration. Now, the way they worked it there was they went by floor, and the immigration officers came on board, went and set up an area in the theater, and they announced deck 2, deck 3. Then as the line died down, deck 4. And they went so on and so on until they got all the decks done. Went very, very smoothly. From the time my floor was announced to the time I was on my way back to the stateroom was about 15 minutes. No big deal. Zoom. Like that. Was very, very happy it went by that quickly. And so were the people who had excursions, by the way. Now, just got another immigration notice, this time because we're arriving in New York City. And they're doing it differently. They are not coming on board. Everybody on the cruise ship has to get off the cruise ship, whether you're getting off in New York or not, whether you have a shore excursion or not. You have to get dressed, leave the ship with your passport and your key card, and then you're going to be going. They're not doing it by deck neither. They're doing it by people who have to get off early because of flights or because of shore excursions first. Then people who have later excursions and later flights get off next. And then everybody else gets off between 9:30 and 10 o'clock. So I'm expecting half the ship to be all at once between 9:30 and 10 o'clock. And it's not a matter of walking off the ship, scanning your passport to somebody, getting stamped or whatever, and then walking back on the ship. Nobody is allowed back on the ship until immigration clears every single person on the ship. So if there's 1 or 2 people who are late coming down or slept in, every other passenger has to wait for them to come and get off the ship, do the immigration, and then they will announce everyone is allowed back on the ship, which means there's going to be 1,000 and some people trying to walk back on the ship at the exact same time. I don't know how it's going to go. I think it's going to be a mess. I'm predicting a mess. I'm hoping that 90% of the people on this ship have shore excursions, but I know for a fact out of the roughly 1,900 people on board, only 300 are actually getting off in New York. The rest are staying on the ship and going on to Fort Lauderdale like myself. So we will see what happens. And I'm really curious because if there's like a 6-hour process to do immigration here in New York compared to what it was in the UK, maybe there's a lesson to be learned there, or maybe it'll go really, really smoothly. Maybe they're going to have it organized and it's going to go really, really quickly. I'll let you know. But I like the fact that I didn't have to leave the ship if I wasn't getting off the ship in Plymouth. But here they're making you get off the ship until everybody's off the ship, and then you're allowed back on. It could take 10 minutes. It could take 5 hours. We'll see what happens. Well, I hope you appreciate this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. We'll see more tips, more tricks, more travel blogs from around the world. Hit that subscribe button. Until next time, have yourself a safe and a great vacation.